back for the next witness, and the government is going to pull up Tracy. Government witness Tracy, testifying using only a real first name, is now on the stand. Tracy, now 40, said she was 16 and an intern at a record company when her boss first introduced her to Kelly in 1999. Again, Tracy's not a pseudonym, it's a real name. You can go look up her story. Tracy describes R. Kelly sexually abusing her when she was a minor at 16. She is the second accuser called to testify Monday and the third since the trial began 2 weeks ago. Tracy testifies about the first time she had a threesome with R. Kelly, saying she was confused when she saw Kelly walk in with Jane. I just didn't really think there was anyone else but me and Rob. When she began crying, she says Kelly told me to stop being a baby. Tracy told jurors she filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly in August 2001 when she was 21. Before the case got to trial, she settled with Kelly for $250,000. She said she never received the full amount from Kelly. So those are tweets from Michael Tarm. I'm going to go ahead and bring it on over to Jason Meisner. So Jason Meisner says, well, let's bring it back to Pauline for a little bit. He said that Pauline had been calm, mostly and matter of fact on the stand, but she did show flashes of anger, sadness, and combativeness, particularly under cross-examination. Pauline also was dressed in a dark blue suit. R. Kelly was dressed in a dark blue suit. He had kept his head down, sometimes shaking it back and forth, as she talked about things he allegedly said to her about secrets. So R. Kelly was in a dark blue suit, and he was basically keeping his head down. I guess he can't look at his accusers in the face. So, fast forward back to Tracy. Jason Meisner said he's going to be in the overflow room for the rest of Tracy's testimony. So far, her demeanor on the witness stand has been quiet and sad, a stark contrast to Pauline. At one point, prosecutors had to ask Tracy to move closer to the microphone so we could hear her. So, Tracy has retaken the witness stand, and she says that she will testify that later in her relationship, he videotaped a threesome with her and Jane. She says early in the summer of 1999, she visited R. Kelly at the Chicago track studio. He told me this time we were going to have sex and it would probably hurt, but I would have to let him finish. She said they had sex in the studio Sky Room. Tracy says she and Kelly had sex over 50 times over the next year or so, including after she turned 17. Some of those encounters involved other girls. Tracy is starting to cry as she testifies about a threesome with Jane and Kelly at Chicago tracks. He told me, remember you said you wanted to please me? He told me to get naked and take my clothes off. He then brought Jane into the room. She was naked. I was really confused and just really angry because I didn't really think there was anyone else besides me and Rob. But through tears, they seemed to be really familiar with each other and they knew what was about to happen, and I was the only one who didn't. I was crying and he told me to stop being a baby. He told me to lay down and he was like fixing the camera and the microphone that was overhead. Tracy says R. Kelly told Jane to start giving her oral sex, told her to tell Jane she was going to do a good job. He asked me if I like it, and I said no. He got angry and yelled at me. The sexual contact with Kelly ended when she was 18. Tracy says she never told her parents about the police about the relationship. In August 2001, when she turned 19, she filed a lawsuit against R. Kelly in Cook County. They haven't gotten into the details, but the lawsuit claims she was 17 when she started having sex with Kelly, not 16. So at the age of 17, it is legal to have sex in Cook County. 16 would have been underage, but she ended up settling. The lawsuit was settled out of court for $250,000, Tracy says. She said she's not sure how much she actually received, but it was not the full amount. In 2019, she reached out to a law enforcement tip line regarding R. Kelly. Direct examination is over. Bonjean is starting her cross-examination now by asking about the timeline of when her internship with Columbia Records began. Bonjean: do you have any single document out there that shows you started your internship in high school? Tracy: no. Bonjean asks her point blank: you met Mr. Kelly in the spring of 2000 when you were 17. Isn't that true? No, it is not. Bonjean questioning Tracy about what she told Cook County prosecutors in 2002. She says she did not mention the incident at Chicago Tracks or the Westin where he allegedly forced sex acts on her. At the time, I still loved Rob, and I didn't want to see him get in trouble. Bonjean showing Tracy her lawsuit, including a sworn affidavit she signed saying she became an intern at Epic in April of 2000. That's what it says there. But it also says she met Kelly in April of 2000, not 1999. Tracy says her lawyer made a mistake. So Lisa and Tracy both have filed reports against, or at least have statements made against R. Kelly saying they were underage when they weren't. Is that what I'm getting from this? See, this case is taking a lot of twists and turns. Because the prosecutor really shitting on themselves by mixing bad apples with good apples. This isn't a prime example of one apple could ruin the whole bunch. When you go into your fridge and you see that molded strawberry, are you gonna eat all the strawberries that was around the molded strawberry and throw out that molded strawberry, or do you just throw out the whole pack? Because you're not about to just start eating a whole bunch of mold nearby like strawberries. Does it not ruin it when you have the credibility of a witness that is like tarnished, doesn't, and then you have these very valid witnesses, like I'm going to say Keith Morrell, a valid witness, Brittany, Jane is a credible witness because even though she's a liar, we know she's the girl in the tape. Homeland Security already verified that. So I feel like when you're mixing the truth with non-truths and people who just made bad decisions and are getting clouded, that's going to cloud the investigation in this trial. I really feel like these details not being addressed between the prosecution already, like, let me go back to it real quick. Who is that? Was that Michael or was that Jason at the time? Yeah, so when you don't let Bonjean question her about when the affidavit says she met Kelly. The prosecution should have brought that up. It's missed opportunities left and right for these discrepancies to be pointed out by the defense instead of the prosecution. In your affidavit, you wrote such and such, or your attorney wrote such and such. When did you really meet R. Kelly? When did you meet R. Kelly? That is what the prosecution should have said. That's how they probably should have opened. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have Bon Jean coming in acting like she's pointing out something, and when it looks like she's flustering the witnesses or catching them in something, it doesn't bode well, I'm sure, for the jurors. Now, I'm not in the courtroom, but I'm just reading it. So me reading how it's coming across, like, I can tell the girl is like, if she has to defend herself, you left her open. It was a weakness that y'all didn't cover. So, prosecution, I feel like, yeah, have a good case, but some of these witnesses you probably should have just left off of the stand. I mean, that's just my opinion. So back to Andy Grimm's. We're going to just take it from the beginning. He says, now call to the stand Tracy, another pseudonym for an alleged victim. You're wrong, Andy. Tracy's not a pseudonym. That's her real name. Tracy is now 40. Met Kelly in the spring or summer of 1999 when she was 16. She was an intern at Epic Records, and she was introduced by her boss, Kathy Carroll. All right, I got my notebook and my pen because they caught me slipping earlier, and I'm so glad my audio was messed up because I'm actually re-recording it. I did the live reading earlier, so now I'm not reading these for the first time, so you're not capturing my first reaction. I've already read through all of this, but now I need to make sense of it because I was confused earlier. I'm not going to be confused now. They saying Tracy is now 40, right? So in 2022, she's 40. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator because no one's going to say that my math is wrong. 2022 minus 40 means she was born in 1982. Okay? Now, the year is 1999. Let's just do the math. Let's just do it for ourselves really quick. If the year is 1999 and she's born in 1982, she would be 17, says the math. But this tweet says she was 16. So, is she born in the wintertime? Because she would have been 17 in 1999. But if they met in the spring and the summer, she was 16, then she better have a late year birthday. And I couldn't find this lady's birthday nowhere. But just keep that in mind. 1999, she's supposed to be 16 according to this story. Allegedly, I should say, not story. So Tracy met Kelly on her first or second day on the job. That's a good first day, or is it? At his downtown studio, Kelly invited her to sit on his lap while he explained the soundboard. She declined. He told her to ask to use the bathroom because there was something he wanted to give her. She didn't. Sometime later, she saw him at an expo she attended with Carol and a friend. Kelly gave her his number, told her to call him. She did that evening, and Kelly invited her and her friend to visit his studio. Her friend talked her mom into letting us go, she said. At the studio, Kelly eventually got her alone in his office and masturbated as he sat next to her. When she appeared shocked, he said he was sorry he upset me and he had never done anything like that and this wasn't his usual behavior, she told her friend on the car ride home. The next time Tracy saw him in person, he invited her and her friend to his room at the Westin in Chicago. So both times you met him so far, you've had weird encounters, but you keep going to hang out with him. He arrived in the early a.m. and sent her friend to pick up breakfast. Kelly has Tracy stripped naked, but says she doesn't want to have sex. So why do you keep going around him? He keeps showing you his dick. He keeps showing you his member, and you keep going around him. Kelly performs oral sex on Tracy, demands she reciprocate. reciprocate. I'm sorry. I'm fucking annoyed right now. Kelly performs oral sex on Tracy, demands she reciprocate. Tracy testifies that this is the first time she had sexual contact with anyone at all. Eventually, he attempts intercourse, stops after she repeatedly asks him to stop. Court goes on lunch recess until 2 p.m. Tracy testifies that she continued to have sex with Kelly and visited his studio frequently. On one visit, Kelly brought in Jane for a threesome. I was really confused because I didn't really think there was anybody else but me and Rob. I just didn't understand why the other girl was there. They just seemed to be really familiar with each other, like they knew what was about to happen, and I was the only one who didn't. Tracy later sued Kelly in 2001. Boom, we got another date. 2001, which is 2 years later. According to our math, she would be 19. And Kelly settled out of court for $250,000 but didn't pay the full amount. So that's a civil case. You know why it's a civil case? If she started having sex with him, if they met when she was 16, sounds like they started having sex on the third time that they met. Who knows when the third time that they met was? Because if they met in the summer or the spring, it could still be the summer or the spring by the third time they met, or it could be later that year, which by that time she would be 17, which is the age of consent. All right, let's move on. Tracy has no paperwork showing her internship took place in 1999. And Bonjean questions why prosecutors didn't charge Kelly or at least call her as a witness in his 2008 trial if she told them she had sex with Kelly and the alleged victim, Jane. You know the case would have been stronger if you're under the age of 17. If that was the case, then it wouldn't have been a civil case. It would have been a criminal case. I guess the prosecutors didn't believe your story back then. Tracy, out of her own mouth, said, if that's the case, then it wouldn't have been a civil case. So, girl, are you saying that you weren't 16? Are you the prosecutor's witness or the defense's witness? Tracy says she told the investigators in 2001 about the threesome with Jane, which would have made her an offender as well, being she's overage by a few months. But it is what it is. It's the law, right? Bonjean says they must not have believed her. They're not here, so I can't speak for them, she said. Oh, they will be, Bonjean says. Oh, so the prosecutors is coming up to be a witness? They saying this case supposed to close in the next 2 days, so they better have a good lineup of witnesses coming up. All right, so that's it for Andy Grimm's page. Let me go to Jason Meisner. Do you have anything for me? Do you have anything for me? Something that we haven't gone over already. Tracy says in early summer 1999, she visited Kelly at Chicago Track Studio. He told me this time we were going to have sex and it would probably hurt, but I would have to let him finish. They had sex in a sky room. Summer 1999, she's holding on to that summer. She's really holding on to that summer. I really want to know when this girl's birthday is. She says she had sex with him over 50 times over the next year or so, including after she turned 17. Some of those encounters involved other girls. I know, am I the only one in America who's never mind. Tracy is starting to cry as she testifies about a threesome with Jane and Kelly at Chicago Tracks. He told me, remember you said you wanted to please me? Think we went over that already. Jane came in the room naked, like, Jane is not with the foreplay. She is down DTF. All right, let me see what else is going on. Whoop-de-whoop. I'm trying to see what's going on, man. Bonjean, in the cross-examination, let's just dig right into that really quickly. Bonjean asks her straight up, you met Mr. Kelly in the spring of 2000 when you were 17. Isn't that true? No, it isn't. I wish they would ask her when her birthday is. Tracy, another one. At the time, I still loved Rob. I didn't want to see him get in any trouble. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't it sound just like the girl from yesterday? I forgot her name that fast. All these pseudonyms, I can't keep up with Jack, Jill, Jane, Susan, Tiffany, Bundles of Brittany. Like, come on now. That was going to bother me that I can't remember the name. What is the name of yesterday's witness? Oh, well. I really can't remember yesterday's witness that fast. It wasn't Pauline, now, was it? No, Pauline was today. That's sad. My head is hurting. I'm going to just let it go. All right, yeah, so Tracy is a terrible witness because I think homegirl, she really needs to say when her birthday is. If her birthday is late in the year, she was definitely 16 when they first started this whole rendezvous, and she makes a very great case. I want to take it to Jason Meisner really quickly. Okay. Jason Meisner is my guy. And you know what? Because I did this reading already, I'm thinking that I read some of these tweets, but I didn't. All right. So here we go. Jason Meisner, we are back after a short break. Bonjean still getting after Tracy about her recollection of what her age was at the time of her relationship with Kelly. Tracy has repeatedly apologized in a quiet voice when she can't recall or asks for a question to be repeated. With each "I'm so sorry," Bonjean seems to grow more annoyed. "You don't need to apologize to me," Bonjean said with an exasperated sigh. "Just tell the truth." Tracy says she told the detective, Kinsella, that she was 16 when she met Kelly. Bonjean asks her to repeat it. "I'm sorry, I can speak slower for you. Detective Kinsella." Tracy acknowledges she initially misidentified herself in a still photo from a Kelly sex tape when shown the image in 2019. "I did make a mistake. You are 100% correct," she tells Bonjean. Someone keeps yawning in a loud and protracted fashion into one of the courtroom microphones. Not sure who it is, but I could venture a guess. He sounds like Prince Valium from the movie Spaceballs. Wonder who that was. Bonjean asking now about Tracy's friend, Kelly Weatherspoon, who went with Tracy to the Chicago Black Women's Expo to get R. Kelly's autograph for a friend. Weatherspoon has previously given a sworn statement that the event was in 2000. This was before they ever had sex. Who says this was before they ever had sex? Because according to this, what we wrote down, they was having it in 1999. So maybe Miss Weatherspoon didn't know the tea. But they was already, 2000, girl, you late. 2000, she was 18. So, Bonjean, I don't know where you got your facts from, but it sounds like you're trying to trip up the witness and try to throw out all these dates and probably trip up the jurors. I hope the jurors have their notebook and pen, because it's really Bonjean throwing out all these different numbers now. All right, let's keep it going. The cross-examination has taken on a new dimension of weirdness as Tracy alleges Kelly Weatherspoon, her friend, reached down her dress at a nightclub in 2002. "You need me to help clarify for you a bit more? You don't have to be mean to me." "I'm trying," says Bonjean. Tracy, "Try a little harder." Whoop. Oh. Now they've devolved into an allegation that Tracy had been date raped by someone at age 17. Oh, Lord, this girl going through a lot. She needs to stay home. and R. Kelly forced her to reenact it. Did you tell anybody about what you've alleged here for the first time? Bonjean asks. Prosecutors asked that line of questioning be barred. Okay, I just actually read that. Bonjean is finished. Brinley says he has a quick cross on behalf of Daryl McDavid. He asks about Kelly's wife. See, now the defense has posited a theory that the videotape Kelly's camp was trying to get back was a threesome involving the singer, his wife, and an adult woman. Brinley asks about an interview with law enforcement where Tracy said Kelly's wife had allegedly told her she liked Tracy's physique. Tracy says she thought the comment was a come-on. It just felt indecent. It felt wrong. Brinley is now done. Now redirect. Prosecutors showing that Tracy disclosed in 2019 the 2 incidents she described for jurors today at Chicago Tracks in the Westin Hotel. Tracy, is the age when you met Mr. Kelly firm in your mind? Yes, 16 years old. And is the year you met him firm in your mind? Yes, 1999. I keep looking at our math like, when is your birthday? And then what were you doing then? I was just finishing at Rich East High School. Tracy is off the stand. Next up is Kelly Adams, formerly Kelly Weatherspoon, who was Tracy's good friend at the time when she met R. Kelly. Was she her good friend at the time when she met R. Kelly? Because she's saying they met R. Kelly at the Black Expo in 2000, and apparently Tracy had been doing her thing since 1999. Weatherspoon says Tracy graduated high school early at age 16 and got an internship with Epic Records. It was during that internship that they attended the Black Women's Expo at McCormick Place. So what came first? The expo? So then maybe Kelly got it wrong, because if they did an internship that summer before college, then she was 16 when she met R. Kelly, and not the 2000 that you keep insisting. A short time later, Weatherspoon was with Tracy at the Westin Hotel. After Kelly came to the room, he sent her to get breakfast. She was gone a couple of hours and waited. Breakfast takes a couple of hours? And waited for Tracy in the lobby. She says she never saw any physical contact between them because you was gone. Judge Lennon Weber adjourns the trial for the day. Cross-examination of Weatherspoon will begin at 10 a.m. Tuesday. Prosecutors have said they intend to rest their case on Tuesday or Wednesday. What y'all think, y'all? I'm exhausted. Just drop y'all comments below, because I want to know what you guys think